Do you want to increase your fertility? Do you have PCOS? And not only do you want to get pregnant, but you also want to feel healthy in your body? If that's you, then welcome to the PCOS Fertility Health Podcast. Hi, I'm Dr. Angela Potter, an integrative fertility doctor, and I'm here to share with you the tools and strategies that you need to turn around irregular cycles and get the best chance at getting pregnant when you have PCOS. Let's go. How do you know if you have PCOS? What's happening in your body that would lead you to go ask your doctor if you have PCOS? What's happening in your body that your doctor is saying, yes, you have PCOS? That's what we are going to cover today. Welcome. I am so happy you are here. If you are a longtime listener, welcome back. It is such a joy to have you here. And if you're a new listener, welcome. We are so happy to have you here in this community because just by taking the time to listen to one episode means that you are a part of this really cool, dynamic group of women who are committed to changing their health. They don't take no for an answer, and they know that there are answers out there and they are committed to finding them. You have now joined this community, and I am thrilled to welcome you here. Before we get into talking about how do you know if you have PCOS, I want to read some really kind words that somebody recently posted about the podcast. And she wrote, Dr. Potter's podcast is a wealth of information for anyone that is struggling with PCOS or is curious to learn more about PCOS and fertility issues. She shares the information in a straightforward and easy way to understand. I highly recommend this podcast if you are struggling with PCOS and getting pregnant. Thank you, Liz, for sharing those words. I am so happy that you are a listener here. It means so much to me for you to share what this podcast means to you. Thank you. So how do you know if you have PCOS? Let's say you haven't been diagnosed yet and you've been trying for about a year, maybe more, to try to get pregnant, and it's not happening. And you're thinking, gosh, what's happening? Why am I not getting pregnant? Maybe I have PCOS. I have a couple of friends who have PCOS. So, maybe that's happening to me. Well, what are some signs that would be happening in your body that would make you think, yes, I need to go get checked out for sure if I have PCOS? Well, those signs and symptoms are going to be acne. Now, you might be thinking, what? Doc, acne? You're talking about my skin? Aren't we talking about my fertility? I don't really need to talk about my skin right now. Well, actually, acne and other skin issues that we're going to talk about in a minute, they indicate a very strong hormone, particularly those androgen hormones that you may have heard about, like testosterone, that are running rampart in your body. And while they're just going crazy inside, what they're doing outside is creating these symptoms that are going to make you think, ooh, maybe that's from too much testosterone, which is part of my PCOS. So that's why we have to talk about things like your skin. So if you get a lot of acne, particularly right before your period starts, particularly right along the jawline. But it doesn't have to be just specific to that, specific to your jawline or specific to right before your period comes. Maybe you get acne all over your face. Maybe you get it on your back or your chest. All of us thought we left acne back in high school, right, during puberty. And then when you have it, when you're an adult, you're thinking, why is this happening to me? I thought I left this behind. Yes, that's because that's PCOS speaking up in your body saying, hey, we've got to pay attention to this. So that's why take a look at your skin and see what's happening. Also, when you're looking at your skin, you want to be looking at unwanted hair growth, particularly on your face, around your chin, the mustache, right? That typical kind of male pattern hair. But it might not just be on the face. It could be on the back. It could be on your lower belly. It could be on the upper thighs. hair where you think, I shouldn't be having to shave here. I really have to tweeze a lot. Like, I have to pluck my chin every 2 days or else it looks like I have a beard. That kind of thought about this extra hair growth would be pointing you in the PCOS direction. If you have a lot of weight gain around your belly, or you hold on to weight in your belly and you can't let it go, that could also be a sign that you have a lot of testosterone, that androgen hormone, running around in your body. Now, of course, there can be other reasons for that, but if you put it in together with these other pieces of the puzzle, these other symptoms that you're experiencing, it could be another piece of the puzzle for you and your PCOS. Absent periods. So you don't have a bleed at all. When you're out with your girlfriends, they're talking about PMS and dealing with their periods once a month. Sure, they think that it's really nice that you don't get a period all the time. But inside, you're thinking, oh, what I would give to actually have a period. I want to be dealing with those PMS signs and the irritability and the food cravings, because that means that I'm actually having a period. And here you are, you cannot have a bleed unless you are on medication. And so if your periods are not there at all, that's pointing in the PCOS direction. If you have irregular cycles, so maybe you do bleed, but it's all over the place. Okay, sometimes it's 35 days, sometimes it's 50 days, sometimes it's 180 days, but there's just no rhyme or reason to it. Or maybe you bleed regularly, but your cycle is really long. So we talk about a typical, if you're not watching on YouTube, I'm putting air quotes up right now, a typical cycle being 28 days. Not everyone needs a 28-day cycle to be healthy and fertile. It could be a couple days shorter, a couple days longer. But if it's a lot longer, if it's 38 days every cycle, or if it's 45, 50, 72 days every cycle, even if you're having that regularity, because it's so long, those hormones in your body are not set up for ovulation. So that still should be a little light bulb going off in your brain thinking, okay, I should get figured out about PCOS. Do you have a lot of pelvic pain or twinging, particularly mid-cycle or just before your period starts? And that can indicate that you have lots of cysts. Now, it can be a cause from other things, so of course you want to go get it checked out. But if you find that you have a lot of twinges in your pelvis or pelvic pain, then that could be a sign that you have ovarian cysts leading to PCOS. And if you have a history of having burst ovarian cysts, then that would also make you think, perhaps I do have PCOS. So do you have to have all of those symptoms at once in order to be diagnosed with PCOS? No, absolutely not. You could have one of those symptoms, or you could have all of them. It doesn't matter how many of these symptoms that you have. What matters is that if some of these are popping up and you're thinking, oh yeah, like I do need to tweeze a lot, and I actually haven't had my period in 6 months. Okay, maybe PCOS is a part of my diagnosis. Maybe PCOS is a part of the reason why I haven't gotten pregnant yet. Okay, so these are for you to just be thinking about what's going on in your body. So as we're talking about this PCOS diagnosis, you now know the symptoms in your body that you might be experiencing to show that you have PCOS. It is possible to get regular periods and to ovulate on your own when you have PCOS. I see this all the time in my practice, and women with PCOS are getting pregnant every single day, and you could very well be next. Hold on to that as you go forward today. If you want to support this podcast, you can leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or simply share this episode with your friends. And as a reminder, the information on this podcast is just that. It's information, and it should not replace the medical advice that you are currently getting from your doctor. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you right back here next Wednesday.